Today I decided to set myself the task, what if I could only pick 5 philodendrons out of all of my philodendrons? Which 5 would I pick? It's quite a tricky one because philodendrons are my favourite genus of plant, but I have narrowed it down. And these are in no particular order. So I definitely have to have the Philodendron Painted Lady, because yeah, this one is one of my favourites at the moment. It's putting out so many beautiful new leaves and I just really enjoy this plant. It's such a beautiful colour. It's got the red stems and the beautiful yellow variegation. I really love this one. So this one is definitely firmly on my top philodendron favourites list. I'm really enjoying growing this one and it's actually growing quite fast for me at the moment. We're kind of properly into spring now and yeah, it is putting out loads of leaves. I'd say out of all of my philodendrons, this one's probably growing the fastest at the moment. I'm not sure why some grow faster than others. I do have this one under a grow light. It's a fairly gentle grow light. I don't have it really kind of close to it, but maybe it's liking that. You do have to be careful with grow lights, I find, because some plants, they really respond well. Other plants, they might need to move a little bit further away. But this one seems to like where it is at the moment because it's putting out lots of lovely new growth. Not quite sure when I'll be getting this one on a support, but yeah, I just absolutely love this one. It's one of those plants, you know, you have certain plants in your collection that you are kind of more enthralled by. They're the ones you always go to first and the ones that your eye draws you to. This one is definitely not only in my top kind of favourite philodendron lists, but I'd say it's probably in my top favourite plants too. Another philodendron that definitely is in my favourites list is this Philodendron Jose Bruno, and yeah, I'm just loving this one. It's such a fun plant to grow because the leaves change colour and it's kind of like magic when the leaves come out one colour and then they eventually change another colour. I just really love this one. It's got beautiful colours but also beautiful shaped leaves as well. I do have this one on a support stick now because yeah, it is climbing pretty fast and I'd say this is quite a fast grower actually, for me at least. It kind of puts out one leaf and then not long after another one comes. Some plants take longer than others, as you know, with your own plants. Sometimes they take quite a while, don't they, to put out a new leaf, but this one seems to not take too long. No sooner has the new one come out and it's already starting to work on another one. So I do like that it grows fast, but more than that, I just really enjoy how fun this plant is. Yeah, it's kind of a fun part of nature when you get leaves that change colour, I think. And they do take quite a while to change colour too. They do stay the kind of white, light yellowy colour. It's more of a creamy colour, I suppose, for quite some time before they start to fade off into the green. And yeah, it's just fun because every time I go back to this plant, every day it's doing something new, it looks different, and yeah, it's just a reminder that everything in the physical world is always changing. And yeah, this one really is a teacher of that lesson. It's it's one of those plants that I would definitely recommend because it's easy to care for, but it's also really beautiful. So if you've been wondering whether to get one of these, definitely give one a go because they are really easy to care for. I recently repotted this one, as I say, in with a stake. I gave it a really nice, chunky, airy soil mix and it seems to be loving it. Yeah, I just water it when it's dry and give it lots of bright indirect light, and that's all it really seems to want. Another philodendron that I am just absolutely in love with is this Philodendron Billetier. Mine did have a little bit of a problem with root rot, but I think it's recovered now because I just removed it from the pot and I took away the rotting roots. And then I put it in a really small pot that fitted the root system because obviously the root system was a lot smaller. And yeah, then I just have been giving it loads of bright indirect light. I have actually put it near to a grow light too because I don't think it was getting enough light. It didn't seem to be growing. I think I can see some tentative new growth coming through now, so hopefully I made the right decision there. And yeah, it stopped yellowing too. This one was getting a lot of yellowing from the root rot. That has now stopped and it seems to have stabilised, so I'm just really hoping this one will be okay. And yeah, I'm just giving it plenty of nice bright light in the hope that I can encourage it to grow a bit more. I think we're past the worst with this one, but going back to why this one is one of my favourites, I mean, just look at it. In my opinion, this is one of the most beautiful philodendrons. It does take up quite a lot of space, and honestly mine's quite small too, so it will take up even more space when it grows, but it's worth it to me because I think it's one of the most beautiful philodendrons. I love how the petioles kind of come out orange and then they kind of fade off, but yeah, just the shapes of the leaves, the long lobes, I just think it's beautiful. It's a very tropical looking plant. It definitely gives that jungle vibe. Without a doubt, one of my favourite philodendrons has to be the Philodendron Florida Green. This one has such beautiful shaped leaves. It's working on putting out 2 new beautiful leaves at the moment, and yeah, I just absolutely adore this one. This philodendron is also super easy to care for. Most philodendrons are, to be honest with you. They mostly just like bright and direct light, and the majority of them do like drying out between waterings. They like a nice chunky soil mix, but there's just something about this one. It's got such beautiful glossy leaves, and yeah, the petioles are kind of a red colour. They're not fuzzy, but they've got little bumps on, and I just think this is one of the most stunning philodendrons, and my goal with this one is to get it growing up something eventually. I'd like to get a nice big climbing plant with this one. It's also tempting to have it trailing because obviously you can have it trailing as well. I'd kind of like to do both, so I think at some point I will probably propagate this, or I'll buy another one and then maybe have one trailing and one climbing. If I really love a plant, I kind of like to grow it in different ways as well. And obviously when you let a climbing plant climb, it will get bigger leaves, but when you let it trail, the leaves don't size up as much, so you do get a different plant. And I believe that even when you have 2 of the exact same type of plant, they do actually grow really differently, and each plant has its own sort of personality. I don't know if that sounds a bit mad, but I've noticed that with my plants. You know, a plant you might not have had success with in the past, and then you get another one and suddenly it's successful, or vice versa. You know, sometimes it can just be down to the genetics of the plant or how it was cared for, where you bought it from before you bought it. Loads of different things can affect how well a plant does in your home. So yeah, never be afraid to try again if you don't have success with a plant. Sometimes the time's just not right. Sometimes the time is right. Yeah, and that's just nature for you. And I was really tempted to pick Philodendron atabapoense for the next one, but I think I have to pick this Philodendron Brazil because yeah, it's just one of my favourites. Even though it's one of the most common, I absolutely love growing this plant. It's got such beautiful shaped leaves. They're kind of heart-shaped. Obviously, this one is also known as the heartleaf philodendron, well, the solid green version is. This is the variegated version of the heartleaf philodendron. And yeah, it's just got these beautiful splashes of kind of lime green, and I love how it's always different. The variegation really is different on each leaf. It depends on how you look after your plant too, how much light you give it, that kind of thing, as to how much variegation you get from it. And yeah, I just love plants that surprise me, and this one's growing like mad. Yeah, I've spoken in my other videos, I'm not sure whether to give this something to climb or leave it trailing because, you know, I really love both. I do also have a smaller one of these hanging in my window too, so yeah, I don't know, but I just think this is one of the most fun philodendrons, and it's really easy and cheap to get hold of too. You will find it pretty much everywhere, and if you buy a small one, it's a really fast grower too once it gets going. So yeah, I'd highly recommend this one, and it's really easy care too. It's one of those really low maintenance plants. I just let mine dry out between watering, and I make sure it gets plenty of bright and direct light, and it seems really, really happy. And You can see how well this one's doing. It really is just growing so beautifully. Yeah, it's been a pleasure to have this one, and it's very heavy too. I have it in a fairly heavy pot because I have it on a shelf, and if I don't give it a heavy pot then it has the tendency to topple over, so it has to have quite a heavy pot to keep it down, kind of thing. But yeah, the vines are kind of growing up on themselves at the moment, and yeah, if you don't have one of these in your collection, I think a lot of you probably do, because this is one of those plants that many of us already has. But if you don't have it in your collection, I could highly recommend it. It's definitely one of those plants that you can kind of forget about and just get on with your day, and you'll know that this will be okay. If you let it dry out for a little bit too long and you forget to water it, it's very, very forgiving, and it just gives that beautiful jungly vibe. I think it's one of the best philodendrons personally. That's why I have it in my top 5 list today. Now, I have to be really honest with you, I could just keep going on and on right now and showing you more and more philodendrons, but I did say 5, so I'm going to stop there. But I will link in the description a video of philodendron care and showing you some of my other philodendrons, so if you're interested in getting more philodendron, then check that out. And yeah, let's get a conversation going in the comments. I'd love to know what your top philodendrons are, your top 5, if you can narrow it down. Maybe you like some of the same ones as me, maybe your choices are just completely different. I would love to know, yeah, what your opinions are, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.